Today I want to talk about an attachment on the bike. You've probably seen those adverts for those snap-on brackets for your phone. I've got an alternative, and this one's by a company called Peak Design. I'm going to talk about this more a little bit later down the track. While we're on the subject of good design, Grip Sport, great bike racks. I mentioned Peak Design before. Interesting name. It is a really well designed product. I love good design. So look, to keep this short, when I first got the bike, I wanted something to put my phone on the handlebars. I remember seeing a lot of those ads for a particular product. I can't remember the brand name. They had big blue wings and so forth. And I thought, that's probably the way to go. Until I ran into someone at a bike park, and they had one, and I asked them to have a look at it, and on closer inspection, I wasn't impressed. Very plasticky. It didn't look like it was very well designed, and yeah, to be honest with you, I thought it would probably fall apart pretty quickly. Anyway, so that put me off, and I just kept looking. And I remember in the back of my mind, I'd heard of Peak Design, and so I'd have a look at their products. And that's the reason why I'm doing this video today. Anyone who's got an e-bike, or even just an ordinary bike for that matter, really needs one of these for their phone. Now, I'm not going to gloss over the fact they're not cheap, but it's the old story. You pay for what you get, and these things are just quality through and through. Not just in respect to how they're built, but in respect to their functionality. Unbelievable. So we'll talk about this a little bit further when I get to the trail. And this is what it's all about. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, we're going to head out to the trail, and we'll show you just how well this thing actually operates. So I'm going to enter one of the trails here. So if you look now, you will see the Peak Design phone holder in action. And very soon we're going to be hitting some really gnarly trails. Now I'll put it through its paces. Okay, so I'm going to lock out the suspension a little bit. Going up through this type of environment can be really hard on the suspension. Here we go. But I want you to notice just how solid that phone holder is. It's not causing any issues whatsoever. It handles this like a pro. And now I'm just going to stop, and let's say I need to take a call. There we go, just like that. Throw it back on. Look, while we're on the go, turn it around. So easy, and that is locked solid. Okay, here comes my favourite spot. Well, not. This is really hard. This is the worst part, finding the right way through this little, God, I did it 2 days in a row. Incredible. Okay, I think it's a good time to stop and talk a little bit more about this device. So as you can see, this is a really great little device. A couple of other things that are worth mentioning. I'll just put this in my pocket for the moment. First off, to adjust this is so easy. There's a little wing nut here. You can move it and then you can swivel this around. Going forward, and there's the camera, and away we go. And this is so easy. You just look, and I want to get some shots of the wheels. There we go. Turn that up. It's just so well designed. It's a proper action mount bracket built into the actual back of this. And now I've got my camera facing that way. I can record going that way. Now, if I've got one of my action cameras with me and I want to actually record to the camera, on the back of this mount, there's an action mount. So I can mount the camera here, I could put a little arm up if I want to, and it can actually record me while this is recording out that way. Little things like that. This is what I love about this. This is the little wing nut that I was telling you about, that you can move that around. And it's so easy. It's got a nice fine thread, so you can really tighten it up, or you can fine tune it. That's what I'm saying. If you look closely, you see how those little, and this is really hard to show on camera, but these little things, they've got a taper, contour taper on them. In the back of the case, there's this really little elegant square slot that goes over, right, that square on the mount itself, and on the inside of that little square is where those little movable latches lock on. There's also a magnet there. So what happens is that it goes in and instantly just locks. That's it. It's now locked. So there are two little things. You pull it off. On, and if you use the 2 fingers here, then it pulls that off, and again. Okay, and if you look closely, you will see those little prongs coming in and out, and really elegant. Okay, so there you have it. Now that's all about the bike mount. The rest of the video is going to have to wait until I get home, because there's more to the Peak Design story. And again, this is why I like a company like this, because they, well, good design. Sorry. I know. Look, by the way, just be crystal clear about this. I have nothing to do with the company other than the fact that I'm a customer. They haven't approached me to do this video. I just love good products, and I love to tell people about them, and this one is a doozy. So there you go. And as you can see by some of the gnarly areas that I'm going through, it's not an issue. I mean, look here, one last little fact, and I'll wind this part up until we get home. So what, I've had this along with the bike for 4 years now, over 9,000 k's of riding, and this little phone holder is lasting just like the bike has. So there you go. Okay, we're back from the ride, and I said that I was going to show you one more thing about the Peak Design. Well, get this. This is another one of their products, and in essence, it's designed to be put onto it's got a quarter thread at the bottom, and you can use this to screw into tripods anywhere you want. In this case, I've got a little Lumicube stand here. Make this a reasonable height. Okay. So let's say, for instance, you want to do a little bit of recording using your camera on a tripod or on a stand like this. That's it. Simple. Oops. Just got to get my... There we go. It's exactly the same functionality. The actual unit itself, the top end is identical to that, except for the fact that the bracket that it's attached to is a screwed sort of swivel joint with a base with a 1/4 inch hole on the bottom. And that's it. And just to show you, we'll just turn that on. Go to video. Okay. Cinematic Road. Now, so I'm just going to start recording and turn this around. And so now, I'm actually recording onto my iPhone using that stand. I mean, there it is. So, I don't know what else to say. I mean, Peak Design make a number of other products. If you go onto their site, and I'll put that up for you, browse around, have a look. They are quality products. They really are. Really impressed with them. So, thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next time.